I was not born into peace. My mother, Leto, wandered the earth while Hera's hatred followed her like a shadow. No land dared shelter her. No city dared receive her pain. Until Delos, the rootless island, opened itself to her suffering. There, beneath the merciless sky, my sister Artemis came first. Then I came after her, crying into a world already ruled by jealousy, fear, and prophecy. Remember this: a bright destiny does not always begin in comfort. Sometimes light is born while darkness is still hunting it. I am Apollo, Lord of the bow, the lyre, the plague, the cure, the oracle, and the sunlit truth. Men call me beautiful, but beauty is only the surface of fire. Light does not only warm, light also exposes. When I was young, I came to Delphi. There, the serpent Python guarded the ancient place of prophecy. It was old, terrible, and coiled around a power older than kings. I drew my bow and killed it. From that blood, Delphi became mine. Kings, warriors, mothers, merchants, and beggars came carrying questions in trembling hands. Should I go to war? Should I marry? Should I sail? Will my house survive? They wanted answers from heaven, but few were ready for truth. Prophecy is a dangerous gift. Men say they want truth, but most only want divine approval for what they already desire. When truth wounds them, they call the wound cruelty. But the oracle does not exist to flatter the proud. I have watched kings destroy themselves by twisting a single prophecy. I have watched ambitious men hear warning and call it permission. Then, when ruin came, they blamed fate. But fate often speaks clearly. Pride simply refuses to listen. Hermes once stole my cattle when he was barely born. The little thief hid his tracks, lied with a smile, and still dared to charm me. Then he played the lyre he had made from a tortoise shell, and in that sound, my anger became wonder. So I took the lyre, and through it I learned what warriors forget. Power can conquer the body, but music conquers the heart. A sword may force silence. A song can make silence remember. Do not despise beauty. A melody can soften what strength cannot break. A poem can outlive the palace that mocked it. Men die quickly, but the right song can haunt centuries. Yet beauty made me cruel too. When Marsyas challenged me in music, I accepted. He played his flute with wild earthly passion. I answered with divine perfection. I won. But victory did not make me merciful. I punished him with a cruelty that should shame even a god. This is the warning. Talent without humility becomes a knife. Excellence without mercy becomes tyranny. The gifted must guard their souls more carefully than ordinary men. Because when the brilliant become proud, they do not merely fail. They make others suffer for their brightness. I loved Daphne, and she ran from me. I pursued her with the hunger of a god who was used to being desired. But desire is not love when it refuses to hear no. So she prayed to escape me. Before my eyes, her body became laurel. Her arms became branches. Her breath became leaves. I reached for the woman and touched only bark. So I crowned myself with what I could not possess. The laurel became my sacred tree, my victory, and my reminder. Not every love is meant to be taken. Not every longing deserves to be fulfilled. Some things become holy because they remain beyond your reach. I gave Cassandra the gift of prophecy. But when she rejected me, I cursed her so no one would believe her. She saw Troy burning before the flames arrived. She saw death walking through the gates, yet every warning fell like rain on stone. That was one of my greatest cruelties. To know the truth and be unheard is a special kind of torment. Never mock those who see danger before the crowd sees smoke. Sometimes the loneliest person in the room is the one telling the truth too early. I watched Niobe boast against my mother. She mocked Leto because she had many children, while Leto had only 2. Pride made her count her blessings like weapons, so Artemis and I answered arrogance with arrows. Her children fell. Her laughter became stone, and even as stone, she wept forever. That is the punishment pride never expects. One day, everything you used to boast about can become the source of your grief. Children, beauty, strength, wealth, talent, victory. None of these are safe in arrogant hands. Gratitude protects blessings. Pride invites judgment. At Troy, Agamemnon dishonored my priest Chryses. The old man begged for his daughter, but the king answered with contempt. So I came down from Olympus with my bow upon my shoulder, and my arrows carried plague into the Greek camp. Their fires burned beside the sea while men died under invisible wounds. The mighty became helpless. The proud begged for mercy. War had not humbled them. Sickness did. Do not think strength makes you untouchable. A king can command armies and still be defeated by fever, breath, or guilt. The body is a fragile temple. Respect it before pain forces you to kneel. Yet I am not only plague. I am also purification, healing, and the turning away of sickness. Mortals came to me with blood on their hands and fever in their bones. I taught them that healing begins when corruption is brought into the light. My son Asclepius carried healing further than any mortal should. He became so great a physician that he could call the dead back from the dark. But when men began crossing the boundary between life and death, Zeus struck him down. Even mercy becomes rebellion when it defies the order of the world. I raged for my son. I struck the Cyclopes who forged Zeus's thunderbolts, and for that rage I was punished. Apollo, who received hymns and sacrifices, became a servant in the house of a mortal king. I served at Metis. I guarded another man's cattle beneath the same sun men thought belonged to me. Humiliation taught me what worship never could. Sometimes servitude cleanses what glory corrupts. Do not despise your season of lowering. A crown can make a fool believe he is wise. A low place can teach what a throne hides. If you survive your humbling, you may return brighter than before. I loved Hyacinthus. He was young, beautiful, and full of life. We played beneath the open sky, and joy seemed harmless. Then the discus flew, and blood touched the earth. In one terrible moment, laughter became mourning. From his blood, the hyacinth flower rose. Mortals say gods do not understand grief, but I have held beauty as it vanished in my hands. The sun does not stop shining just because your heart has broken. That is one of life's cruelties. Birds sing, markets open, other people laugh. Your private sorrow does not darken the whole sky. So you must learn to carry grief under daylight. Do not wait for the world to stop before you heal. It will not stop. You must walk wounded until walking becomes strength again. I stood in the war at Troy. I strengthened Hector, clouded the minds of Greeks, and moved unseen where men thought only spears were moving. Heroes love to believe they are alone with their glory. They rarely see the gods behind the wind. Achilles was mighty, but no man outruns destiny forever. The brightest warrior can still have one hidden weakness. Do not envy another man's armor too quickly. You may not see the prophecy aimed at his heel. I have watched warriors pray before battle, then become beasts after victory. I have watched poets beg for inspiration, then poison themselves with applause. I have watched healers grow proud because the suffering kneel before them. Every gift contains a temptation. If you are beautiful, you will be tempted to manipulate. If you are talented, you will be tempted to despise the ordinary. If you are intelligent, you will be tempted to confuse arrogance with wisdom. The brighter the gift, the darker the shadow it casts. That is why light must be disciplined. A flame in a lamp guides the traveler. A flame without restraint burns the house down. Do not ask only how powerful your gift is. Ask what kind of soul is holding it. I am called the far shooter because my arrows travel beyond sight. That is how consequences work too. A word spoken in pride may wound someone years later. A choice made in hunger may strike a future you cannot yet see. Mortals think punishment arrives suddenly. It does not. Most ruin is planted quietly, watered by repetition, and harvested when the soul has forgotten the seed. The arrow was released long before the wound appeared. I have watched men run from truth into noise. They fill their days with pleasure, ambition, gossip, and war. Anything to avoid the silence where the soul speaks. But truth is patient. It waits behind every mask you polish for the world. It waits behind your anger, your envy, your hunger, and your excuses. When my light touches you, it may not feel kind. It may reveal the lie you built your comfort upon. Do not curse the light for showing the dirt. Only what is revealed can be cleansed. Only what is named can be mastered. Only what is faced can finally lose power over you. There is a reason prophecy and music both belong to me. Prophecy tells you what must be faced. Music helps you endure the facing. Truth without beauty can break the soul. Beauty without truth can drug it. So learn to hold both. Let truth cut you but not destroy you. Let beauty comfort you but not deceive you. The wise man does not worship pain, and he does not worship pleasure. He listens for harmony between them. He knows that a life without truth becomes illusion, but a life without beauty becomes a prison. You were not made only to survive. You were made to become clear. I have been adored, feared, desired, cursed, and misunderstood. I have healed and harmed. I have loved and lost. I have given men songs, warnings, plagues, cures, and unbearable clarity. Still they look at me and see only sunlight. But sunlight is not simple. It shines on the temple and the battlefield. It warms the child and reveals the corpse. It does not flatter. It does not hide. So if you ask for my blessing, understand what you are asking. I may not make your life easier. I may make your lies impossible to keep. I may burn away the comfort you mistook for peace. But if you endure that burning, you may become clear. And clarity is one of the rarest mercies given to man. A confused soul can waste a lifetime fighting the wrong enemy. A clear soul suffers, but it suffers in the right direction. So sing when you are grieving. Seek truth when you are afraid. Master your gifts before they master you. And when the light exposes what you wanted hidden, do not turn away. I am Apollo. I am the arrow in the distance, the music in the temple, the sickness and the cure. I am prophecy, song, healing, beauty, and burning truth. I am the light that warms the worthy and burns away the lie.